Bristol City are heading into the Severnside derby in a bit of a precarious situation at the moment, off the back of another defeat in midweek against Ipswich at Ashton Gate and an accumulation of injuries to key players within the squad. Things are not looking good, and a lot of work will have to be done if Bristol City are to go over the bridge into South Wales and get a result in the derby. There are always certain pressures going into derbies, and this is going to be no different. Bristol City have a decent record since Cardiff have come down from the Premier League in terms of beating Cardiff, at Cardiff in particular. So hopefully that translates, but last year it was a pretty dismal afternoon in South Wales, with Bristol City getting turned over 2-0 by Sabri Lamouchi's side back then, and hopefully the ghosts of last season have been put to bed and Bristol City can go there with a fresh set of players, set of faces, really put there and go there with some confidence and get a result. As I mentioned, injuries are accumulating. 2 more were picked up in midweek, and it seems unlikely both Andy King and Hayden Roberts will be available. Andy King in particular will definitely not be available, but Hayden Roberts, it seems, will also not be available after we were told post-match it might be touch and go. While Bristol City were beaten at home, Cardiff City went away to Huddersfield and won 4-0, putting in a very, very convincing performance at the John Smiths and absolutely ramping Darren Moore's side, really. Callum Robinson was back in the team, and he was back amongst the goals as well. The ex-Bristol City player has been waiting to come back into the side after injury. He looks like he's back in form. Some really good players in there, in that Cardiff team, and it's been a bit of a reshuffle that summer at Cardiff, but it looks like Errol Bullock, the new manager who was hired in the summer, finally getting things moving in the right direction, and off the back of 3 games without a win, it was also important just to go to Huddersfield, get the 3 points, but do it in that way will ensure that the Bluebirds will come into this derby game with a lot of confidence. Before that, they had won 4 games in a row, including a 9.3 game week, which was really impressive. It started with a Derby Day win in the South Wales derby for Cardiff against Swansea at home, impressive win over Sunderland and over Coventry, followed by a home win against Rotherham as well. So very important wins, just accumulating, and have kept them in the stride for the top 6. Bristol City are a better team away from home than they are at home, weirdly, and that might be because of the style and the ability to counter-attack, and that might be, why. We're 8th in the away league table, followed by 18th in the home league table, so hopefully that is carried on, and the impetus is on Cardiff to come out and play and really take the game to Bristol City, allowing gaps for our star men up top. Sykes, he's playing at right back, I don't know, Conway, Sam Bell, Andy Vyman, Harry Cornick, Jason Knight in there as well. So hopefully, if Cardiff are to come out and they don't score, that hopefully leaves spaces for Bristol City to exploit going forward. On that subject, Cardiff, though, have only lost 1 game at home so far this season, and even though that did come up against the QPR side, who've been really bad so far, that is something to take account for. Last time out, they drew 1-1 at home to Watford, so hopefully, from Bristol City perspective, that kind of falls a little bit apart and we can take advantage of that. Team news is going to be very, very interesting. In goal, I'll stick with Max O'Leary, of course. I wouldn't change shape because I just don't think it works with the current set of players we have available. Centre-backs, I'd go with Rob Dickie. Right back, I'd go with Mark Sykes. And purposely missing out the other centre-back because I genuinely don't have a clue. If Andy King is not available and if Hayden Roberts is not available, we can't just stick Cam Pring there because we don't have another centre-back to go. So we don't have another left-back to go in cover Cam Pring. So I might have to stick Taylor Gardner-Hickman in there, and then we allow Cam Pring to play left-back. And then we have possibly Jason Knight and Matty James in midfield. Possibly Anis Mehmeti might have to come in, or Andy Vyman takes up that central role with Sam Bell off the left, Tommy Conway up top, and I'd possibly look at start Harry Cornick as well. We just have so many injuries at the moment. I'm lacking midfielders, I'm lacking centre-backs in particular, lacking left-backs, lacking right-backs. It is just a complete mess in terms of the injury situation at Bristol City. But that's the team I'd go for, so to have Andy Vyman in that kind of 10 position where he did so well in that 21-22 season, and despite his performances this season, hopefully allowing him that 10 position and getting that bit free roam position, that allows us to go ahead and get the best out of it. I think the game will be tight, and that's generally the case with derby days, and it's generally a goal in there or two. If it is a 2 or 3 goal win, it's generally quite late on. I do think this game will be tight, and I don't think either team will get absolutely battered. And honestly, I would make Cardiff slight favourites right now just because of our injuries and the lack of players we have available in key positions at the moment, and players we're kind of shuffling about, and it's just not a great look at the moment for City, and the back of a loss as well. It's not looking good. But Derby days, things can happen. Weird things have happened on Derby days, and someone can be a hero, and hopefully that's the case from Bristol City perspective. But it's not looking great at the moment. Cardiff's defensive setup, generally under Errol Bullock, looks like it will possibly be the case here as well, and it might be a bit of a cagey one on Derby day. But they also could be looking at it and going, well, we're at home, Derby day, go ahead and try and win the game and be on the front foot. Again, as I said previously, hopefully that leaves gaps for Bristol City to exploit, but it's not looking great at the moment in terms of confidence levels. I'm not overly confident, but I do think we have it in us to kind of grind out a result here and there, and we did that against Coventry, didn't we? Where we didn't play well at all, but somehow got the 3 points. The difference is here, we're away from home, so hopefully that kind of, ability to grind out a result away from home, get a point, get a 0-0, get a 1-1, something like that along those lines, is enough to get something here. Honestly, I would not be too unhappy with the draw in the slightest. As much as I'd love to go into Derby games completely confident and very expectant of a result, it's not looking good with our injury situation. I think you have to be very realistic about it. If we came up against any other side that were not Cardiff and they were sitting kind of 8th or like 7th or wherever the Cardiff are, I'd not be very confident either. But just because it's Derby day, it feels a little bit different. My score prediction, I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think we have got the ability to, in us, as I said, to kind of grind out results here and there. I think that will be very, very important. Our defensive structure and the defensive solidity, whoever plays in the back line, will be very, very key throughout the game, and we have to be able to nullify Cardiff in key areas. So that was my score prediction. Let me know your score prediction down in the comment section below. So that is it for the match preview. If you have enjoyed it, hit like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Trouble Store YouTube channel for more Bristol City content in the future. If you want to check out more of my content, on screen right now, somewhere around here, will be my matchday vlog for the Ipswich game, which ended 1-0 to Ipswich through a Nathan Broadhead goal. A very disappointing afternoon for a Bristol City perspective, but some positives to take out there, and obviously playing a very good side as well. So if you want to check that out, that'll be on screen right now.